Ujambo, ujambo sana mtazamaji mwenzangu. Good morning, my friend. Good morning. Good life to you, man. You are back with me. You are back to your host of Athletics Without Boundaries, enjoying your views, enjoying your company. In appreciation, I salute you from Northwest, the other side of Pacific. I tell you what, it's good to be here, man. It's cooling down outside. If you want to know how the outside world looks like from where I'm sitting, enjoying the weather a little bit. It's been cooler compared to the other days where we've been roasted, man. We've been getting roasted by the heat here in Northwest. We can't complain. We are alive, man. Trust me, it's good to be alive, man. Life is a gift. May I pass on the gift, if I may, by saying, live on, my friend, live on. Athletics Without Boundaries community. Hey, my friend, because when you're alive, you can see what I saw. What I saw was that Zurich, well, Class A of Zurich was going to produce some phenomenal. Let's not rush to the real thing that happened in Zurich today, my friend. Today, 2 world records. Papa, man, fireworks in Zurich, man. 2 world records. Can we get to that shortly? But before we get to that, why don't we give you an appetizer? Enjoy this appetizer because the women were taken to a train station to showcase their pole vault talent, and there was no wasting time, man. They look phenomenal on the runways. They look great on the runway. The fans were enjoying the intimacy. If you haven't been to Europe, their train stations are just in awe. You can be in awe just watching these structures, man. It's like being in a big warehouse in America, where you're just sitting there waiting for the train. Back in my days, man, there are these arrivals thing that shows number, plop plop. They were kind of what is it, it's like a, what do you call that? It's not a screen. You guys are used to technology where the screen is all computerized. Back in the days, man, during the the antiquity of my days in the 90s, the screen that shows the schedule of the trains was something that flaps. So it would flap, flap, flap. You hear, pa, 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 pa. You look on the screen like, oh, it's changing from whatever, right? So they were here. These ladies. I'm just describing to you. If you have never been to Europe, it's a good travel continent, and the train stations are just too effective, too efficient. I don't know whether this one is a museum. Do they stop the trains for these ladies to perform? They didn't disappoint. They didn't disappoint at all. The matriarchs of pole vault, I'm talking of Katie Moon of America. She's been winning for a while. She's done her thing, but apparently, maybe her time is coming to an end because this competition was about young and restless, man. 21-year-old husky, twin. This was Anna Hall, man. She's hauling it all right. Her sister was coaching her from the from the view where she could see. She's like, "Go, sister!" Twin sisters, man. Hey, my friend, listen. Amanda was coaching Anna. I think that's the relationship they have. Twins doing it, man. This is back to back for Anna Hall, man. She won in Lausanne, 484. She comes here, she eclipses the matriarch, Katie Moon and Sandy Morris, to win the pole vault in 490. Personal best, man. This girl of 21 years old, man, you must be kidding yourself. Watch this young and restless, man. She's just defying gravity. Class, top class. She's having it. Got the flowers. Angelica Mosa, the local lady, thought she had it at 484. And then, the twin, Anna Hall, says, hold on, hold on, Angelica. I know you're at home. You are, you are older than me. This is a young generation event. Man, this was very, very beautiful to watch. In the train station in Switzerland, man, the train is just taken off. And there's only one winner here, man. The Husky, Washington Husky, man. That was beautiful to watch. Back-to-back wins for her, 490, man. Yeah, the matriarchs, man, they are passing on the torch, all right? I saw the hug from Katie Moon to Anna Hall. She knows what she's doing. She's just passing on the baton because the new young and the new young winner is Anna Hall, man. And there she does it, man. The high jump with the ladies. Yeah, man. The high jump with the ladies. Very good competition as usual. The level of competition in high jump has moved up. If you can't clear 190s, just go home, because 190 was the contesting height for the high jump. It came down to very, very good competitions at the top, because national record, Maria Vokic, I don't know what country she's from, 198. Huh? And that was it for national record. I'll find out what nationality she is. Maria Vokic. I think it's Yugoslavia. That's Serbia. That's Balkan. I can hear the name Vokic. Vokic, man. Balkan. Very Balkan indeed. She's a third. She's placed third in a 198 because there were Nikola Olyesenka of Australia. Rough season, not very consistent. Nicola, she does her thing. She has a notebook just like me. She's putting down what she's doing. Every time she does that, a character indeed, flamboyant in her own way. She's in touch with the sport. She's in touch with herself. She goes into let's go, and she goes. She has to contend with Ukrainian, man, who has been doing very well. Ariana Kemachenko of Ukraine. Yaroslava didn't have a good one here. She couldn't even clear 198, so she's bumped to fourth place. But Ukraine, man, there's something about Ukrainian athletes in the high jump that has brought them together. There were 3 or 4 of them, I think, or 3 in this event. I forgot the names, but there were about 4 of them. It's a national event for them, and I think it's a victory for them every time they are in this event, for me watching them, given what they are going through in their country. But today it was a down under lady, man. Nikola Olyesienka, man. Olyeslengas. Olyeslengas? That name is very interesting to say. I'm not familiar with it. Nikola is an easier one for me. She clears 202, man. Second place was the Ukrainian Ariana Gemachenko. Have you struggled with names? Sometimes you say people's name, you're like, man, I hope they don't get offended. I hope they are not, because the high jump goes to Australian Nicola Olyeslengas, and she wins that in 202, man. High jump is a winner from down under. She ain't no under anymore. She's on top of the world, man. Yeah, big character. I enjoy watching her. I enjoy how she cheers herself up. It can be very lonely, these field events, man. You're watching those ladies wrapped up in whatever warm things they can wrap themselves in, and they go doing their thing, man. You know, you are in the middle of nowhere, 25,000 fans watching you, just an island there, and you have to prep your mind. I saw one of the athletes putting her hands on her ear saying, focus, focus. If you haven't been in sports, man, there's something you should realize. Focus, staying disciplined, running it through your head, visualizing it, and delivering, and going through your drills is not that easy. And these are young ladies and young men, and they have to perform at this professional level, man. Nicola, man, just giving you an insight into that world, man, because it went just like that. And then the shot put, I'll give you the rundown of American Gates, Jordan Gates, 22:33. Behind him was Rajidrav Jamaica Campbell, man, 22:22. And then, of course, Italian Leonardo Fabri. Leonardo Fabri had to set up for third place. No big throws here, but 22 is still decent. The boys did what they had to do in shot put here. Jordan, man. Huh? Air Jordan? No, it's Gist Jordan, man. Jordan Gist of America, man. Big boy, big shoulders. Give him his due, man. Give him his due. Delivers that big time, and that was that. 400 meters hurdles. Women. We have these Slovakia or Slovenian. Man, those countries you can easily confuse. She's Emma Emma, what's her name? Sepletelova has been doing very well. She won the European Championship. She's been unbeaten until today. But I noticed something in Lausanne that when pressure was getting on her, she tightens up. And here she only that not only that she tightened up, Anna Cockrell of America puts pressure on her. She clips the penultimate hurdle, and that was it. Man, she held her own. She didn't go down, finished sixth. But Anna Cockrell, man, world lead 52-13. She just got married, man. She has that ring. She has that ring. You remember that at Nationals? Got the ring. The husband was there. The partner was sitting there saying, "We got it, honey. 52-13, man." Anna Cockrell, man, beating the Slovenian or Slovakian. We'll figure that out when it comes down to it, to nationality. European countries are so many, man, and they are condensed. Not to be not to be overlooked here is she's 36. Delilah Mohammed, man. I thought she retired. I thought she was like in some retirement somewhere in an island somewhere. Delilah Mohammed comes second with a 53-16. I don't think she's retiring. I think she's just bluffing us. She's 36. In this day and age, man, to see Delilah Muhammad still doing it at that level, man, you got to salute this lady, man. Listen, I'm not young. When I see some people their age, moving up a notch to 30s, in 30s, man, you are 50 in track and field. She's still doing it, man. I'm like, how do you do that? Remember, she didn't do very well at the Nationals in New York, trying people saying retirement race for her in the National. She didn't retire. She's in Europe, picking some good money as a former or whatever world champion 2019. Don't forget that in Doha, man. I got to give her some flowers, man. Tell you what, because she comes second here after Sepletalova. Zabdetalova stumbles to give Anna Cockrell a 52-13 win, man. Can I just talk about this one because it's burning up, man? So I watched a clip or I watched an interview where Masai Russell was being, poked with some questions by a lady in a press conference about what's the possibility you're going to break the world record this year. This was before what I'm about to talk about. I remember saying, oh man, if it comes, it comes. It has to be organic. I cannot push it. I'm having fun. I had a good opener in China's Yemen where she ran 12-14. She hasn't been beaten since. Man, she's been on a winning streak. I'm talking about Masai Russell, man. This is a Masai woman I'm talking about. She's just giving us this interview, and I'm glad I did, because this one set me up for what she was about to do, and she did it, man. When you break the world record, people don't understand world records. World records is something special. You don't just wake up every day and break world record unless your name is Mondo Duplantis in pole vault. That guy is just a beast. So Masai Russell, man. So yeah, I'm not chasing the world record. She says I'm not chasing it. If it comes, it comes. If it shows on the screen that I broke the world record, I'll be happy. And happy she was, because today, where she was, I don't know whether you can say she least expected, because she's been efficient between the hurdles, man. She's been on a winning streak, and she got rewarded today with the world record of 12:09, man. It's befitting. Let me tell you why it's befitting in Zurich. Zurich is the haven. That is the mecca of Europe when it comes to track and field grandeur. Okay, and to me, watching Masai Russell looking at the clock and realizing that she did not misspeak during the interview. Excuse me. She almost predicted it. She almost gave us she was a front runner in her own mind. Excuse me. Yeah, don't drink and drive. Don't drink and talk. Man, Masai Russell, man, finally, a world record that has stood since 2023-22 in World Championship in Eugene. And I think the reason why I keep repeating the word befitting is that it's always, it's a beautiful thing when the former world record holder, who was Toby Amusan, was in this race and she comes second. Second to who? The new world record holder, Masai Russell. The Nigerian was pretty much handing it to her in that race because she was second in a 12 UKS. Toby ran a 12:23, which is decent time, but decent time enough to hand the new world record holder, Masai Russell, man. He's something else to watch, man. You know, one of the things about world records when you break is that you realize you have not just been chasing it. It's a matter of when am I going to have that, crispy performance, that, that special moment. And special moment, Zurich turns out to be for her because that time, that clock stopping at 12:09, you could tell it's been a lot of work on her. It's been consistently being rewarded today in Zurich. And what a place to be rewarded for that, by the way, because she deserves it. Let's just leave it at that. Masai Russell has been winning. She started with a very high, she started at 12:14, like I keep saying, in China. And then she's just been winning, 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 winning. And then the gods of the hurdles are like, okay, Masai, we've seen the whole, we've seen the work you've been putting in all season. Now let's reward you with the world record today. And that's what the gods of the universe are pretty much, they are all giving their vote and saying Masai Russell is the new world record holder, man. Yeah, from Lagos to LA. Is she from LA? In Las Vegas. I don't know, man. That was beautiful. I enjoy watching that. It was a shocker for me. But listening to what she said or heard what I heard before the race, I was like, these athletes are very smart. When they speak, man, you got to lean in, man. They know what they're talking about. Because that race, if you see the development of the race from the get-go, she wasn't pushing it. You could tell she was calm. Her face is never showing anything. The calmest lady in between the hurdles and clearing the hurdles is that Masai Russell, man. She's like, boop, I got this. Then she turns, she checks the clock. 12:09, man. Talking of hurdles, let's just move. The lady has done it in Masai Russell. Can we talk about men for a second? Can we? Because we have a new king. We have a new king in 400 meters hurdles. It's not the king of Norway. It's the king of Brazil. From the king of Norway in Oslo to the king of 400 hurdles in Rio de Janeiro, my friend, I'm talking about Alison dos Santos, man. Again, can I give you the same narrative, the same template, the same, I can repeat myself verbatim from Masai Russell? It was a day of hurdles, man. It was a day of hurdles because it was hurdles back to back. You can stretch it. Maybe 400, we go to another relay to the 100 meters, so it's about 500 meters of hurdles. Can we say that? Because Alison dos Santos has been a class all season. Just leave it at that. He's beaten the best, but he hadn't just done one thing, beating the clock. And today, you knew something was special. Let me tell you why. This guy went Rastafari on us, man. Let me tell you something. If you don't know who Rastafarians are, you need to go to Addis Ababa, man. Huh? El Selassie. This guy. So if you remember in Lausanne, we were in Lausanne. In Lausanne, he gave us an afro. He pretty much prepared us. I'm just sticking to his hair, man. His hairstyle has gone from this to that. First of all, if I remember, I gave you guys a sequence of his hairstyle. He's had a few hair left in his head at one point. I don't know what is a genetic thing. And then he went afro on us in Lausanne. You can check the clips. Today, he went Rastafari, man. But he wasn't rusty. He was sharp. He was sharp like a gun off the blocks, man. He took Karsten Warhol. Karsten Warhol, I think, was in shock, in awe, when Alison caught up with him at the 200 point. You knew something was cooking here. And cooking did, man, because Alison wasn't letting it up at all. He wasn't. Again, magical moment, magical results. A 46.80, man. Give it to Samba Boy, man. Carsten Warhol knew this was not going to be something ordinary. He knew it. You could tell in his eyes, he's like, what just happened? He just relinquished the world, world record, which he got in Japan during the Olympics from 45.94 to 45.80, man. Let's coronate this guy, man. Let's coronate the Brazilian. Again, let me put it to you this way. I've been giving this narrative all season. Consistency is going to be rewarded. Either you are a world champion or a champion of certain caliber. Or, like Masai Raso, consistent all season, gets a reward with a world record. Alison is no exception. The man has been doing this all year, all season. And Zurich is the place to be told, you know what? You can have it now, Alison. You are the new world record holder with a 45.80, man. Even Carsten Warhol, like Toby Omusan, who was right there watching our world record being grabbed or being smashed or being, whatever. Carsten Warhol was like, okay, my 45.9 is 45.80. I got to give the man a hug. Brilliant race, man. It was special. It was meant to be. There was no mistakes between the hurdles. Coming off the turn, Alison just saw the home straight, man. At the penultimate hurdle, you knew he had something in his head. You can tell because the gap, the margin of win was good. I don't think the pressure was from Carsten Warhol, the Norwegian. It was the clock. And the clock he conquered, man. Rewarded befittingly so. And now, the hurdles, man. It was a night of the hurdles. And the hurdles have been cleared by Masai Raso in the women 100 meters hurdles. And now, the new king of 400 meters hurdles, man. Alison dos Santos, man. If you don't know where he is, he's from Brazil. Huh? Things happen in Brazil, and now they're dancing there. There's a lot of samba going on down there. That's for sure, indeed. That was brilliant night, man. Brilliant night in Zurich. Brilliant night it remains. Carsten Warhol wasn't bad either. 46.69 for third place. And the Nigerian Nathaniel, I don't remember his time. The Nathaniel Nigerian, he did very well. Samba of Qatar faded. I was surprised, Lima Matthias. Anyway, that was that, guys, in the 400 meters hurdles. And then, of course, it was a night. It was a night of festivity. 25,000 fans were out there in Zurich having their night, having their show in the dark a little bit. I noticed that because I don't know what time it was in Zurich when I started watching at 9 o'clock this morning, Northwest. And Pacific time, man, 800 meters came to show us something special. I've said this all year, and I think I'll stick to this. World records are not something you can demand of an athlete or we can speculate on an athlete. Even I'm glad you listen to people like Masai Raso. When they downplayed the possibility of breaking the world record, then they break the world record. That's where you really realize it's a shock to them. And I think there's one thing I appreciate about what she says, that in the short events like 100 meters, 200, the sprinters, you cannot guarantee or even dictate that you're going to bring the world record because it's so technical. The hurdles is a very technical event. You can talk about world record all you want, and then you clip the hurdle, or you stumble, or you just have those moments because it's an explosive event. But it comes down to things like 3,000 maybe, 1,500 maybe. You can plan those with those lights on the track. Maybe you can have that being aided or being like pacemakers where they can push the pace. But in these short events, you don't have that luxury. It's all between the lines. It's all the technical approach to it. How do you get off the blocks? And that's the difference. I think for me, it still applies to an event like 800. I've said all season, I think people need to bow down, people need to respect the legacy of Rhodesia. You just need to enjoy the fact that you saw it in London. And before that, remember Wilson Kipketer's record of 141.11 in Zurich in 1997 was a special night. And he had been chasing it before that. He had broken it in Stockholm, if I remember one. He had equal Sebastian Coe record of 141.73. So a week or so, I don't know, it was a week or a few weeks before Zurich. So it is not that easy to break the 800 meters record. It's not. And Rhodesia in London was just one of those things you're like, okay, this is special. I'll live with it. Because even here, when Wanyonyi was lining up, I don't know, the organizers were asked the pacemakers to give them. Hold on, guys. Let me check my time here and see whether I'm still on. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And so the 800 meters came, and the organizers had requested a very ambitious 49, which to me is reasonable compared to, if you compare that to, what's his name? Marco Arab, who was, I think, reckless or naive. Yeah, so the 800 meters, man. The names, the field was, it was very constricted, and I think it was good for the time they ended up running. You are Sejati Jamal of Algeria, and he had his, yeah, we had a compatriot from Nigeria, Mahula, who came third, by the way, in this one. But it was all about Emmanuel Wanyonyi and what he was going to do at the end. And I think there's something you have to give him, that as much as the organizers were asking for 49, which wasn't bad, he seems to have come with maybe a low 49 the first 400 meters. And I was surprised this time how he pushed the third 200, coming up the back. That's when I started noticing about Wanyonyi. He was going for something faster, which happened, which eventually he got a 140, the world lead this year. His first back-to-back wins in the 800. His dominance shows here again. But it wasn't that easy for him, was it? It wasn't, because coming off the turn, he had a gap on Sejati, but the train from Agios was closing in quick, as he normally does. Sejati is one of the best finishers I know in the 800. If there's anybody who can catch Wanyonyi in the last 100 meters or 80, it's Sejati. Very, very dangerous closure. But again, if you look at Emmanuel Wanyonyi, something I remember him saying last time in an interview, and I've maybe mentioned this to you guys, is that there's only one thing in his mind: winning. And the grit of winning is so deep in this guy, you can tell. The determination to win. You know, sometimes you watch somebody running this, they start to feel the pressure. In Wanyonyi, it's not the pressure per se. If I may give him, I may think for him, or maybe zoom into his mind. It's not about the pressure coming from the competition. For him, it is the anger, the grit, the determination to win. Because I noticed one thing today. He knows Sejati is coming. It was obvious. But to him, it's not Sejati that he's competing against. He's competing against his mind of winning. And that's a difference. That's the difference. Even at the end, when Sejati finishes 141.83, as close as that looks, there's one thing you know about Emmanuel Wanyonyi. It's very hard to beat him when you see him starting to push for that W. I mean, we've seen this in the World Championship, in the Olympics. There were three of them. It was Marco Arab, Sejati was right there, and Wanyonyi. Man, it reminds me of Eliud Kipchoge, Kenenisa Bekele, and Al Garouj in 2003 World Championship in Paris. There's something about that. There's something special about when you see those people winning. a winning mentality. It's something you don't teach. It's not something you train for. It's something that is so deep. And I've noticed that with Emmanuel Ranyonyi is just a winner. That is not something you find hanging somewhere in a supermarket where you can go shopping for. That one is you are either born with it or something. And today, even the 800, as much as we can talk about the clock, 141. There's something about Emmanuel Anyonyi reminds me of Kipchoge, man. These guys don't quit. The grit of winning. Maybe that is the takeaway from watching him today. And maybe even I've watched this over and over. I've watched his races maybe too many times. There's something in his eyes, something in his face, something in his demeanor, whereby even when you see him win a race that was close, he goes, "Yeah, that's me." With a sense of humility too. That's one thing you realize, that when you have it so deep, you don't show anybody how deep it is. You just let it sit there. Anyway, today is the winner, man. What else am I talking about today before I wrap up the show? I'll talk about the other on the women, the 800 meters. Never say never to Femke Brothers Ball, man. I think for me, she's becoming one of the ladies I want to see her do very well in the 800, because the fact that the progress she's made in the 800 is worth talking about. You can talk of Aguero, who is just unbeatable this year. Let's give it to her. She's at home. The mother is there. The father is there. The brothers are there. They are watching it. She's at home. The 25,000 people are rooting for her. The pressure is on her. She's right there at the starting line. She's nervous. You can tell that yawn. That yawn at the start of the race is a yawn of nervousness. If you've never yawned before the race, you are not doing anything special. You are not. You're just somewhere sitting in the trenches. But this race, 55, 56, the fast penalty, the fast 400 meters, that rabbit, that pacemaker, man. Listen, you know me, man. I'll always talk about the details in the race. And pacemakers, I've said all over this season, I keep repeating, you have to mention the collective outlook of the race. And this pacemaker, I don't remember her name. I'll maybe find out in a rewind. That was special, man. To see a woman doing it like that in the front and pushing it beyond 500 meters was nice. And then Femke Bo decides to take this thing early. Like I say, man, Femke Bo is a force to reckon as she grows in the 800. Can I just say that again? This Dutch woman, people, you have to admire something that is just happening before your own eyes. This is her first year as an 800-meter runner. And you know what she does here in this race? She breaks the national record with a 154.71. She started with nothing in the 800 meters. She's a newcomer. She's a baby, a fast-growing baby. She's a baby on steroids in the 800, my friend. Because I tell you what, not only does she give Aguero a run for something, she makes Aguero run another world lead time in the diamond this year. 153.71. She had a 153.73 coming into this one. Or was it 83? Whatever time. So she lowers it here today with the 153. So, what is my take on this outlook of 800? I think I'll give those top two to be one of the best 800 performance we've seen so far this year. It's all about Aguero, the Swiss, who is unbeaten, and the upcoming and now the fully grown 800-meter runner from Netherlands, Femke Bouwman. You have to say these are two special 800-meter runners. And then for me, is the gap. Not that bad of a gap, because I think I gave some flowers to Georgia Hunter Bell of Britain. 155.03, season best for her. this is it, man. This is all you're gonna see the rest of the season, and this is very, to me, worth mentioning. These are the top best athletes in the 800-meter category I've seen thus far this year. Very competitive, and you know what makes it more competitive is the fact that there's an add-on. We have an additional member of the 800, former hurdler. People don't forget our history here. And at hurdles level, she was a winner. She's used to winning, and she wants to replicate that in the 800. The future looks good in the 800, my friend. She stays healthy, she stays hungry and edgy. Because if you haven't watched Femke Boy in the relays for a national team, even in the hurdles, all she knows is how to win. And time is on her side. Time is on her side, man. It's an exciting entry. It's an exciting addition to the 800 meters. In the absence of the others, these three, man, is worth watching. I enjoyed that. But the winner, she's a home girl. I told you. Like I said again, something special is here, but it's not world record. She's getting closer. She's getting closer. The 153.40 or 20, 153 2 something is with Camila, the Czech. So let's see. I think the good news for Adre is that she's young. She's a collegiate, just finished college. She's young, and the future looks beautiful. Adrewero, man, the Swiss, putting a show in the 800 as she wins that. I don't think I'm going to talk about, javelin. I'll finish with the javelin. Easy javelin, man. So today in javelin, there was a ceasefire. There was a ceasefire because we are in Switzerland, and Switzerland is anti-war. They are very neutral. They don't like going to wars. And today there was no South Asian war in javelin because Raj Chopra of India did not show up for this war in the javelin against Sri Lankan. Rumesh Patridge, man. So there was a ceasefire. But it didn't mean that Rumesh is not going to punch up. He punched up, man. He went for the big kill again. 92.07, man. You can't stop him. He has ammunition, and the war continues. He was fighting South America this time, though, because Anderson Anderson Peter, Grenadian? Is he Grenadian? Okay. He goes 86.93, man. Like I keep telling you guys, there's a war looming in the horizon in javelin, and don't underestimate how long this war might go on. I'm talking of the war in javelin, man, in track and field, not real war, my friend. South Asian war. Rumesh and Chopra, India, Sri Lanka, woo, 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 throwing space javelin at each other. How far can you go? Oh, man. Guys, listen, it's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Kung Fu Kenny Penderek, man, very easy win. The gap was very cute, if I may use the word cute. It was a massive gap. 1962 was his winning time. Very good, big win ahead of Sembine of South Africa. That was that. But hold on a minute. Oh, there's something no, I can't do that. I have to do this. Please, guys, excuse my lack of. I cannot ignore this performance. I have to announce this great performance today in the 3,000 steeplechase. 3,000 steeplechase. Cheput Chemutai, as usual, the Ugandan, she tried to take this thing to the twilight zone. She tried to be very, very aggressive with the laps. It didn't happen because Faith Cherotich could not let her do all that stuff. All that stuff came down to the penultimate lap, and Cheput had to be relegated to third place because the performer here, Faith is a winner. Faith Cherotich, I've talked about how great she is. But let's step back and admire another upcoming professional here. Let's just talk about former Alabamian. Huh? Let's talk about this wonderful, I'm talking of Doris Lemgole, man. You know, for me, I watch these movements where the old are fading, which is normal. I talked about that in Pole Vault with Anna Hall and Katie Moon and Sandy Morris just almost like being told, you know, your time is up. We are stepping into this space of winning. Now, in steeplechase, I'm seeing a shift. I'm seeing a change of guard. I'm telling you right now, Doris Lemgole, man, personal best, man, 8:55.94. She was a collegiate winner, NCAA winner, you know, a year last year. She just turned professional. Like Femke Bo. These are new crop of athletes in a discipline of 3,000 steeplechases. Faith is a winner. We know that. She know that, and we're not taking it for granted either. We are, I've mentioned her as a winner. But there's one thing I've been looking for is to see Doris Lemgole taking charge of a race, even passing Cheputche Mutai to come second today in Zurich. For me, I've been, you know, if you watch at my last episode, I talked about her in Lausanne, where she looked kind of too respectful. She kind of feel intimidated. She feels as if she's an outsider. Today, in this race, I saw a newborn. I know I saw a Femke Bo, an aggressive athlete in Doris Lemgole, and she was rewarded by a personal best of 8:55.94. That's what I'm talking about. Young athletes coming into the professional level in Zurich. Okay, you know, listen, man. If you don't know, I've never been to Zurich, but I've seen performance in Zurich. And I'll go as far as saying that if you can do it in Zurich, you can do it in the World Championship, because that's always a big stage to perform. Doris Lemgole, man. Doris Lemgole indeed. But Faith wins here. Cheputha Zay, the Ugandan, faced with the 8:58 third place. 8:55 for Lemgole. What was her best time? I think her best time before today was 8:58 that she did, or before that she had something fast. I think this is big for her. Big win for former Alabamian, man. I'm very happy for her. Oh, there's an event I almost forgot. 1,500 meters became ordinary for me with the men. There was nothing special there after all to say. I was rooting for Fanuel Koech. I think it became, again, this array came down to, it was too tactical. It was too crowded. And when it's too crowded, it always favors Cole Hawker. Watch my comments on Cole Hawker. My comments on Cole Hawker is that if he's somewhere with the last 30 meters, either he wins or he nips somebody at the line. Here, he just, you know, he cocks his head to the back and he goes with his long hair and wins this one. 3:31, to me, there was nothing there. Coach, he comes second. I think I'll give him that. I think there's progress still to talk about the Norwegian Jakob Engbriston. I'm not giving up on him. We need him. Track and field needs Jakob to stay healthy. He didn't look very sharp as usual in the sprints. The last, I'm talking of the straight, home straight, which is okay. 1,500 meters here, there's nothing to say. Cole Hawker wins. Nugush, third, it's not bad. And Nugush has, I think the reason why I'm seeing Americans do well in Europe right now, and I have to inject this before I close this my show here, is they are fresh. They haven't had European championships. They haven't had anything other than national championship, which was like a 3-4 days event or whatever that was. And then all they've been doing is maybe racing in Europe. That's why they're having a great show and they are winning. And in fact, the other winner today in Zurich was the 3,000 meters. You saw what happened, man. This guy, Parker Wolf, man, watch my comments on this guy. Low to the gravity. Yes, his ESPS. He has that hippie look, and hippity did. And 7:27. By the way, they say this time he ran today in 3,000 steeplechases was an old record since Cider Wheater. Almost 40 years record, the meet record that he broke today. That tells you this guy, Parker Wolf. Wolfgang, man. Wolfgang indeed. And then Blanks was second, right? So it was America 1-2. Like I say, America is having a great show in Europe. And the reason goes to the fact that they haven't been doing much championship this time around. And maybe they are more fresher. And I have to give them that. And they are doing incredible. I mean, these is wins that are huge. You know, Ethan Strad, 1,500 meters. You know, a few sessions ago in Lausanne. Here comes Cole Hawker winning 15. We have Parker. Americans are having some good trips in Europe, man. Got to give them that. And that was that, man. Zurich, man. One more stop, man. One more stop. There's Berlin coming up. Berlin is a continental gold tour, so that's a low end, or it's not a diamond. But we'll see some competition there before we go to Brussels for the finale. $100,000, man, waiting the big winners with bonuses if you break the world record or if you run incredible times there. So it's happening in Brussels, and then we go to the Ultimate Championship in Budapest. It's a thrill. It's a season full of thrills. I enjoy the world records today. They were a shocker to me, to the system. You watch with your jaw dropping. I think Masai Russell need to be mentioned many, many times. Alison dos Santos, the new king of 400 hurdles, dethroning the king of Norway in the same event. That is, to me, the beauty of the sport, man. Unpredictability, consistency being rewarded, what I call the winning grit. And, you know, I always remember things as I'm closing. Mono Duplantis had it with the Manuel Karalas of Greek. It was them, man. 622, Manuel thought he had him. Then Mono Duplantis says, sit down. I'm going 625. Sit down. He made an attempt for the world record. I think world record for him it's not, to me, I don't think I'll take it for granted like I tend to do with Mono Duplantis. I think the fact that he's been winning too many times, we get bored. And I sometimes I do. And I think it's not good if I'm really experiencing or I'm admiring excellence from Mono Duplantis. 632 he tried, but he was that close. For him, it's just how he calculates those heights and when he wants to deliver. I don't think he's very far from doing it. From 631, 632. He's looking for a moment. It might happen again this year. But 2 world records today, man. Rio and LA. I'm using LA. I don't know whether Masai Raso is from LA. America, man. America and Brazil today, world records, man. Gone. I don't think I'm missing anything, am I? I'm not. Again, my friend, talk to me. Your comments. Like it. Or dance to it. You know, just dance. Ta-da-da. Enjoy with me, man. And again, have a good day. Have a good life. And have a delight wherever you are, man. Talk to you later, my friend. Bye-bye.